And how do you think the bot lane of Kog'Maw Zilean will fare against a Lucian Leona? Because, well, I personally feel that Lucian Leona is going to crush that lane.
Well, they have to keep their distance, that's what it is, because if they get into range with what Green Tea has installed for them, that's going to be a very risky situation where they will be in. And like we always emphasize, Archie does not have an innate escape mechanism, and that's going to be one of the biggest considerations coming into this game. But nevertheless, I like safety on Vi, because you are pretty much guaranteed a level 6 gank no matter what happens with the assault and battery pickup. And once again, Green Tea will be going for that Doran Shield, so very aggressive start once more. Will be staying in lane to be that all-tanky support champion that he likes to be in.
Yeah, why? I don't get it. I mean,
30 seconds until minions
what do you not get, Wolf?
Everyone so far, or at least I've seen, the trinkets have kind of been, not the trinkets, sorry, the gold income items have been quite a priority, especially at least the ancient coin, because the Talisman of Ascension gives you a very strong initiate potential, especially since you have Shyvana as well as Olaf on the team, and disengage potential in case you need to run away from anything. And it seems that HQ hasn't been prioritizing this Talisman of Ascension speed boost this game in itself.
Well, I guess in a sense, if you have that Doran Shield on your own end, it just gives you that guaranteed trade-off as well. And when you're playing Leona, what your biggest fear will be is that you'll get nuked down before you actually made that engage happen. So having that Doran Shield gives you that extra health, gives you that extra HP regen as well. So you will be able to somewhat stay in lane very effectively, and that will just give you more chances to go in with the engage. And does look like Saigon Jokers, they will be pulling one strategy off the bat here. So they will be going for that 2v1 lane swap. And in that sense, between both QTV and Prides, they shouldn't be doing too badly in a 2v1 situation, but a little more credit to QTV in that sense. You have that that Q to kind of just heal yourself back up, and then you have that slice and dice to help you escape any sticky situations here.
Yeah, we may see some aggression coming in from Optimus in itself. He may want to try to chase Naz off the rip buff though, so let's just see if Naz decides to go back for that one. QTV will rotate down into the lane itself, but we do have Green Tea as well as Scarlet Devil come in and give the support in which Naz needs. Here we have safety actually already done with the buffs itself, and we'll just continue to try to counter jungle as much as possible away from HQ Esports.
Right, that was a very good move from Saigon Jokers there to try to buy some time for safety up in the top lane and the top side jungle of HQ Esports Club, so that he could hit level 3 faster and take away the double buffs as well. So we might see a potential 3-on-1 up in the top lane, but I feel like they are just comfortable just pushing out the wave and then sieging away at the top lane turret, which is very important for Saigon Jokers, especially now that they have this Kog'Maw in their pick and in this arsenal.
I don't know, because for the past 2 games, it does seem that what SAJ needed in the team form was to close out mid-game, or at least early late game stage, and not allow HQ's team come to ramp up in the late game. But this time though, Kog'Maw's kind of a hyper carry, quote unquote, and the moment you have Kog'Maw late game, you're able to go in with that missiles as well as the percent HP damage on his W, and that's going to just give you a lot of damage. Yes, right. The living archery as well as the bio arcane barrage. So I don't know what SAJ can do at this point of time. It seems that this early game aggression coming from the tri lane, or at least with safety coming up to the top, is already being met by Naz as well as Pride itself. Olaf is one of the champions that can actually deal with these kind of pushes, because he does have the undertow to try to clear as much of the minion waves as possible and just kind of help out your top laner itself. So here we have Green Tea actually taken a bit of damage. He does not get hit by the turret though, so now safety will rotate down to the bottom lane and try to help out his teammate QTV to try to sustain as long as possible in the lane itself.
Well, I guess the other reason for the lane swap as well is a very simple logic, and before that we do see Junie in a bit of trouble. He will flash away to safety there. So the logic behind it is that Junie and Archie, they are both on ranged champion. So in that sense, they will be able to kind of put a good amount of damage onto the top lane turret. Whereas you compare that to Garnet Devil and Green Tea. Green Tea is on Leona, so he is playing that melee champion. He might not be able to do as much damage as compared to a 2v1 in a 2v1 situation. So in that sense, it does make sense for SAJ to initiate this lane swap as well. And at the same time, they do escape the bullying potential of Garnet Devil as well as Green Tea. So okay, if you compare the top lane turret now, it's at half health, and at bottom lane turret, it's not so much, and we do have the engage up in the top lane.
Yeah, the undertow will hit onto RG. RG now in a bit of trouble. He does have his flash up though. The barrier may be popped as well. The undertow may come out once more. Does not decide to go against it. RG gets hit by another undertow. He has to be careful. He's already burned his flash. Does have the barrier still up, and it does seem that what you're talking about, the 2v1 here, isn't really working in favor of SAJ at all. Yes, they did do a little bit of damage onto the turret in itself, but the amount of aggression that Trites as well as Naz can put onto a lane that has completely no innate escape outside of that speed boost it just isn't working in SAJ's favor from what I see so far.
Right, and I guess in a sense it's a very good reactive move from the HQ Esports Club because they recognize the fact that whatever happens, Saigon Jokers up in the top lane will be able to push faster than their own duel down in the bottom lane. So they need to put on constant aggression, and by blowing the flash of Archie, you will force him to play more defensively, put him in a position where he's uncomfortable, and by doing that you will be able to somewhat slow down the push and slow down this fast push that Saigon Jokers want to output onto the side of HQ Esports Club there.
Yeah, and if we actually take a look into the mid lane this time and we take a look at the CS coming in, Westlaw once again has that slight minion advantage coming in the early stages of the game. Whether or not he actually makes a roam down once he hits level 6, which he does, he can go in with that Mega Inferno Bomb and just add in that additional damage onto Optimus in itself. The good thing about Ziggs is that Ziggs is now one of the best champions to just kind of clear the way with, wave with, and he's really using that to his fullest potential.
Right, that's the good point that I wanted to mention as well, is that no matter what happens, Westlaw should be able to clear out minion waves with the Mega Inferno Bomb, and it's not difficult for him to apply side lane pressure because you just need to kind of land that pseudo global ultimate on any one of the side lanes, and voila, that's your presence right there. So he doesn't need to leave lane to apply all this pressure. When you compare that against Optimus, he needs to roam around and he needs to shove up the wave in order for that to happen as well. So that will create some room and some space for Westlaw to play around with, and he's doing a pretty good job on his own as well. He's applying good pressure, and now having the blue buff as well, actually putting a good load of damage onto Optimus.
That's right. Wow, the flash coming in from Westlaw actually completely negates the... And oh my goodness, here we have Optimus actually just making the plays. We saw the preemptive flash dodge, the explosive cast in itself, and Optimus just fancy footwork there, dodging out the Mega Inferno Bomb, and this time here we do have safety, putting some counter jungle, gets the smite out and steals the red buff away from Naz, forcing Price to actually burn the Dragon Descent, and a good speed up coming in from Junie allows safety to actually get away from that one. Now QTV in a little bit of trouble. Piercing Light into Zenith Blade into the Piercing Light combo will take him down under half health. He will decide to recall. Does not really have a bunch of gold to his name at this point of time, but nevertheless, he's just gonna go back, try to get some more sustained items or some more defensive items, and try to farm it out of the lane itself.
I think we kind of underplayed what happened with the first blood. Optimus just did a fantastic play with that one, you know, sidestepping all those skill shots that Westlaw was able to put out. And not only that, you know, taking away the blue buff from Westlaw, that's going to hurt him quite a bit as well. So in that sense, Optimus should be able to come back into this one in terms of CSing. So with that blue buff, he'll be able to chuck out more barrels than he was able to do before. And with that kill as well, he will be able to somewhat cover up that goal deficit that he was in before.
Yeah, so it's really amazing that play, because they kind of shocked me, because Westlaw went in for a preemptive flash and Optimus kind of just airballed his explosive cast in itself, which I thought for sure Optimus would have gone down at that point in time. He juked the Mega Inferno Bomb as well as the bouncing bomb, so wow.
It's a play within play.
Wow.
Playception.
Playception. Playception indeed.
god.
And let's see, the blue buff actually passed to Optimus again, so that's just going to give him an additional lane advantage and a little bit more gold to his name itself. He does have a slight gold lead compared to Westor, but both teams at this point of time quite even despite the first blood going to SAJ in itself.
Right, and we have hit that stage where Archie and Junie have hit level 6, so Archie should be able to poke better with that the barrage that should be able to put on some damage onto Prides as well, and then Junie will have that ultimate radiant available to try to save his AD carry in the process, and Flash should be right up for Archie very soon, and now we do see Optimus trying to make the pick happen. There we go with the explosive cast.
Nothing much to be said there, Chris. The play spoke for himself.
A very clean gang coming in from Optimus as well as safety to take out Westor once again. So, as I said before, the water Saigon Jokers is trying to douse the flame of HQ Esports Club, but I
really wish I could see what the chat is saying now all around, whether they get your analogy or not, because I don't really get analogy, but nevertheless, I'll give it to you. Okay. Yes, I don't know whether the water that SAJ is will be able to douse the flame of HQ.
The fiery, burning passion flame of HQ Esports Club. They are up 2 games, you have to give it to them. So in that aspect, they are doing very well for themselves, but not too much in this early game right here. So Saigon Jokers finding the 2 kills that they needed at a good 700 gold lead here, so they need to constantly up the pressure. But like you mentioned, this time around they do have that hyper carry in Kog'Maw itself, and surprisingly they are doing quite well for themselves despite that one time when we did see Ness visit up the top lane and they apply a good amount of damage, and Gunner never goes down to safety in the process. We missed that one.
Yeah, and there we have QTV now getting stunned under the turret. He does not have his dominance. He now pops his dominance and will be able to walk away from that one. Safety now trying to just, you know, go for the execute, and he does manage to successfully kill himself under the turret. So Gunner never going down to that one. Now Pride's in a little bit of trouble. The time bombs will start to tick, and a great Void Ooze will just slow him down completely and try to zone Pride out of lane in itself. This recall here should actually give SAJ the first turret of the game and extend their goal lead to about, let's see, 2,000 over goal? Yes, that seems about right.
That's right, and you know, just forcing Pride out of the lane will be a very detrimental factor for HQ Esports Club over here, because they might need to give up the top lane turret as well, as we do see Optimus just looking around the corner as well. And like we said before, Optimus, he always finds a way to bring himself back into the game. As we saw, for the most part, he was poked out by Westor, but now having that 1 kill up his sleeve and having the blue buff to himself, he managed to catch up in terms of CSO. All around win for Saigon Jokers in this early stages. 2k advantage 13 minutes in. That's a very good position for them to be in.
Yeah, and the next point of contention might be Dragon, because we have Archie as well as Junie rotating down to the bottom half of the map, so it's going to be a 5v5 fight at Dragon, and at this point of time with Kog'Maw already completing the Blade of the Ruined King, as well as Zillion already completing the Talisman of Ascension. That's power spike for you right there, Chris.
And a 13-minute power spike, I have to say they have a lot of raw power on their own end. So as long as they play out this Dragon fight effectively, they should be able to take it without much risk there. And QTV as well, he does have the dominance back up, so everyone having their key summoners up as well, so it will be a very advantageous position for Saigon Jokers to be in. So AHQ, seeing that, they will decide to try to buy some time for themselves, but if Saigon Jokers position well, they should be able to take the Dragon out with ease.
I have to say something. Optimus is already level 11, and having that level 2 on your ultimate is going to be a huge difference compared to what Westor has at this point in time. The Mega Inferno Ball is not even up just yet, and now Price gets caught out a little bit. The Assault Battery comes in into the explosive cast, and the Body Slam will just prevent Price from actually using the Dragon's Descent to get away. Now Naz on the side and taking out extremely low. Safety will go down, but no, he doesn't, because of the ultimate coming in from Zillion. Oh my goodness, everything actually missing on the side of Green Tea. Doesn't get the Solar Flare in, and this point of time, SAJ takes the fight to do nothing, and it does seem that HQ may respond with a mid lane push of their own. The Mega Inferno Bomb comes in a little bit too late. Nevertheless, SAJ picks up that one 5 kills to the name, 1 turret as well as 1 dragon. They extend their gold lead to about 4,000 gold at this point of time, and I must say that SAJ, I questioned their early game power in the beginning of this match, but it does seem that they managed to get the ball rolling.
Right, and hopefully this time around with that Cockmore in their own arsenal, having their early Blade of the Ring King completed on his own end should be able to be the difference that they need to close out game number 3 for themselves here. So we can't discount HQ at this point of time yet. They, you know, for the most part in the early game stages for game 1 and game number 2, they were always behind, and they managed to find a way to claw themselves back into this one. But at this stage, I have to, you know, say that Saigon Jokers, they are playing this fantastically. They control the objectives, get the kills that they want, 1 turret down to the name and 1 dragon as well. So everything is going in their favor just so far into this one. So they need to be careful, just progress on and find all these little advantages that they need to snowball themselves ahead in this game.
Now, I think another additional factor that we need to consider is that HQ hasn't been making the best plays come in the early level games as well, and Saigon Jokers have done pretty well to actually kind of capitalize on it, because HQ had that dual bottom lane against QTVs. Oh, we do have aggression coming in. Safety gets into the Vault Breaker, does not manage to hit onto the prop. A solid battery comes out, and now QTV will go in, but the stun from Greasy will prevent him from using the Ruthless Predator to lock down Garnet Devil. Nas as well as Junie was still on the sidelines, and that may have turned out into a very messy fight if anything they break out there.
Right, so that was a small moment of sloppiness coming in from Saigon Jokers there, but nevertheless they just effectively demonstrated the amount of pick that they could do on their own end as well. But for now, Safety doesn't have the assault and battery, so oh
wow, that misplay there. Junie taken down extremely low. They do manage to get a kill out of that one though, but at this point of time, Optimus now joins the fight, doesn't get a good explosive cast to knock anyone back. Now Safety solely out of position, using that Volt Breaker to get away, but gets shut down from the Mega Inferno Bomb. Now RG in a bit of trouble, gets hit by the Zenith Blade, does manage to flash away from that one, gets exhausted, gets hit by the... And now we have QTV come in. Now Prize gets into the turret. Archie is still alive. Will the Ignite be able to take him down? Yes, it seems like that's the case. But Prize will go down as well. And it does seem that SAJ will be able to trade this fight 2 to 3. And it seems that they may have the turret pressure onto this one. QTV is still extremely healthy. Optimus is still full of mana and able to kind of just chuck as many of those barrels into Westdoor's face as possible. The game has been paused, and probably some technical difficulties on the side of either team in itself. So let's just kind of talk about what happened in that fight, or let's kind of do a rain check, or okay, let's maybe not a rain check, but let's take a look at what happened in that fight.
Right, so what happened here? Actually, what happened was that Green Team missed that solar flare, but with so much damage stacked on the side of HQ, they just managed to take out Junie as well, and Archie just doing his best to poke around and kite around, making sure that he is in a good position to do so. And here's the key thing, the explosive cast was not in a very good position, and because of that, Safety took a huge amount of damage in the exchange. The shutdown will go down to Westlaw there, and Archie is now faced with a position where he was exposed to the lines of HQ Esports Club. So he will take a whole lot of damage, and now QTV from the sides will flank in with the Dominus, so he will take, sorry, not take out Green Tea, but he will put the lines of HQ low enough for Optimus to pick up the kill, and Fight secures the kill with the Ignite, but he will also go down in exchange.
I think what happened there was that HQ was a little bit overzealous in trying to get onto Archie. They did manage to pick up the kill, but they did lose Pride, as well as I believe Nas in that fight as well. So a little bit too greedy going in from the Cockmore there, but nevertheless they still do. Neither team managed to pick up an objective out of that one. SAJ still keeps the 3,000 gold lead that they've held on to for a while now, so not much was actually got out of the team fight. So let's just see if another fight at mid breaks out once more. We do have Price actually split pushing in the top lane. Safety is on the sidelines. Rory will respond to that tower push. Nas decides to pick up the blue buff for himself, and Safety will be happy to clear out that huge minion wave.
Right, so I have to say for Saigon Jokers, the good thing about them is that hanging on to this goal lead just means that Archie will be able to scale up very, very effectively to be that hyper carry that they desperately need. But at the same time, we have always talked about this consideration that Saigon Jokers have, because HQ Esports Club, they do have the Shyvana pick, they do have that Olaf pick. They could easily just stick onto Archie very effectively. So that is the big major threat. And in this current preseason meta where a lot of teams are just prioritizing all these mobile tanks, it's going to be a problem for SAJ to deal with. So I think the strategy that they will be deploying here is to protect the clock more.
Yeah, let's just see what SAJ can do to protect RG, because so far I see that the initiation is very good from both Safety and QTV. Optimus has the explosive cast to kind of just disrupt the entire engage, or the engage potential from HQ Esports itself. So protect the Kong more. Junie can do that too, so I think that may just be the plan, because it does seem that RG will be building into a high damage output kind of champion at this point in time, especially with the Blade of the Ring King and his Bioarcane Barrage passive in itself.
Right, and the good thing about Saigon Jokers at this point of time is that Optimus is having 50% of the kill count on the side of Saigon Jokers, so he will hit his item threshold a little bit quicker. And you know, having a Gragas to have that on your own end is just going to be good news for you, because you are able to just burst anyone outright and to peel off anyone away from Archie in that perspective. And Safety as well, he does have a few items up his sleeve. Already completed that Spirit of Ancient Golem and then going for more health, so even more even tankier frontliner for Saigon Jokers in that perspective. And now HQ Esports Club, they want to take something away from Saigon Joker in that perspective, so they will be taking away that dragon from themselves, so they will close up the goal gap to 3,000. But in the meantime, it was at a time when Saigon Jokers took away the mid lane turret, so you get effectively a turret exchange with dragon.
That's right, the goal lead is still in Saigon Jokers' favor at about 3,000 gold at this point of time, and it does seem that we've hit the little downtime of the mid game, and it's gonna depend on where the team decides to prioritize their next objective. 2 turrets for the side of SAJ, 1 turret for the side of AHQ, and the next few outer turrets would probably be the point of contention. And let's just see where the teams decide to go, because at this point of time they are still quite even despite SAJ's 4,000 gold lead, but nevertheless it's gonna be quite close, judging by game 1 and game number 2.
Right, and we do see the item difference coming in from both Junie as well as Green Tea once again. So Junie prioritizing that mobility that the team desperately need, especially for Archie, so going for that early Talisman of Ascension, but Green Tea playing it a little bit on the safe side, so having that early Mikhail's Crucible will be able to kind of cleanse away any form of a hard CC that Saigon Jokers would have, be it the Ruthless Predator coming in from QTV, or even the Vault Breaker coming in from Safety as well. All these little cleanse would help Garnet Devil in that perspective.
Yeah, let's just see where it kind of all goes, because I don't know what the game plan is at this point of time. I know that the teams will want to take the objectives coming into the mid game, but who's gonna win out in a 5v5 team fight at this point in time?
Right, it's hard to tell as well. So Junie taking some damage from the burnout from Pride here, so they will not be too concerned at this point in time. Safety might face check this one.
That's right, Naz actually gets that undertow, and Safety will just Vault Breaker away the pink wall being dropped down just to clear out the vision that was granted by the stealth ward there. So it does seem that SAJ will be trying to push down this long lane here, and not having Lucian actually all the way down into the bot lane may give SAJ a little bit of an advantage coming in here.
Right, and the other thing that we failed to mention was that Safety is not playing that Vi, which means that all the excessive charge coming in from her punches will be able to clear out the waves effectively as well. So Safety could effectively double up as a split pusher as well, should Saigon Jokers need to. So in that sense, Saigon Jokers, they are sitting at a very good position here. They just need to hold on to this goal lead and then transit that into objectives like what we are seeing here right now. 3-man group up in the top lane.
That's right, it's going to be scary because Junie actually gets caught out quite a bit here, and now Naz gets hit by the living artillery. So there we have it, QTV and Fights once again dueling it out. Both the top laners seem to be destined to meet each other no matter what lane they go to. So the magnet rivalry of QTV as well as Pride will always pull them together, and it does seem that SAJ will back off from their advances to the top lane in the turret in itself. So there's a little bit of downtime coming in, and where do you think this game is going to go next? Because we are at the mid game point. There are some items already being built up. It does seem that the item advantage would have to go to SAJ due to the slight gold advantage that they've been having. More core items on the side of both Optimus as well as Archie, already picking up their Sorcerer's Shoes as well as the Static Shift, respectively, on both the champions. And it does seem that, whoa, we do have the Telephone Ascension being top. They want to go into Naz at this point of time. The slow gets down, he does pop his Ragnarok and walks away from that one. So the ultimate does get burned from Naz to prevent any sort of fight coming in. QTV does pop the Dominus at this point of time. Pride's also using the Dragon's Descent. So now mid laner and top laner will deal it out with each other. It does seem that SAJ has a little bit better control coming into this game. Will they go for an early Baron?
I would love to see that happen if they do go for it.
I mean, Kog'Maw with a level 5 Bio Artillery does quite a bit of damage coming in. The Bio Arcane Barrage, I mean. And checking that Baron Pit with the pink ward, we may see them go for an early Baron here because Kog'Maw is one of those champions that can really take Baron quite fast.
And not only that, you do have that percentage health from all the punches that Safety will be able to dash out by.
QTV here taken out extremely low. Descended Blade will hit onto QTV. QTV does not hit Dominus passive. The culling will come out. They will flash away from that one. Naz gets taken down while trying to disrupt them in the Baron Pit. QTV is the next one that gets taken down. The explosive cast will not knock Garner Devil into the SAJ lineup because he actually pulled a flash. Not to get caught out by that one.
Right, so in exchange it's a 1-for-1, but in a sense if SAJ had a lot more firepower then they could have considered going for that Baron, but in that sense they would respond to this immediate threat, which is the mid lane push from HQ Esports Club, so they will be happy to back off. So in a sense still a 1-for-1 trade, and in a sense Saigon Jokers will be happy, and I think even HQ will be happy to just keep this goal difference in check.
Yeah, I mean, at this point of time, look at the amount of wards that the Saigon Jokers had placed in the red side jungle of HQ. It just shows that they knew what their next game plan was, so they put down all the stealth wards there, and it just kind of allows you to pick out where the HQ team is going to come from. And they made the right call going for Baron. They peeled off immediately. They did lose QTV. While QTV was kind of trying to zone HQ out. In the meantime, HQ picks up the dragon. The little pink ward in that death rush there. Whoa, we do have that solar flare come in. Optimus will be able to body slam away as well as get that speed boost from Junie. So all in all, the teams are just gonna go back into taking small objectives, clearing the minion waves. No more dragon, Baron is still up. SAJ seems to be confident enough to go for the Baron at this point of time. I think what SAJ needs to do next is either push down a lane, which is what QTV is doing, and he does take out the final outer turret, and at the same time try to get as much vision as possible.
Right, so speaking of vision as well, the only one on the side of Saigon Jokers that has that sweeping lens is going to be Safety. So in a sense they are just maintaining vision by using all their own stealth wards. Oh, there we go, the Dragon's Descent not going to be hitting anyone in that sense, so QTV will be able to somewhat stay in the lane for this one, and I really hope to see SAJ, just go in with the gamble and take out the Baron. It's a very risky move, but in a sense, if it does work, it will pay out for them. It is exactly what happened in game number 1, so they're able to pull out that aspect that will work out very well for them. And the other thing as well is that we do see Optimus now 5-0-2 finishing up that Death Cap already. So even though Westlaw does have his own Death Cap as well, we do see a slight advantage coming in from Optimus. He does have that Sorcery Shoe. So between both mid laners, not a very big difference. So it's primarily all this CS difference that's keeping Westlaw alive in this one. So once again, he is the one to be the pillar for HQ Esports Club here. Yeah,
both the mid laners are... They're basically one of the, like you said, the pillars of the team. And additionally, I think Garner Devil as well as Archie is another one of them. Then we have Green Tea get caught out completely. The assault battery will be flashed away from. He does still get that one though. Archie does pick up the kill onto that one. Now Junie taken out extremely low. He does not use his ultimate though, so that's gonna be Archie in a bunch of trouble at this point of time. Archie actually survives that one by popping his Baron. Now QTV into the fray. Garter Devil nearly taken out extremely low. Now Price is the next target there. I think Price should go down to this one. Now Naz will be in a little bit of trouble here. Does get hit.
Ooh.
Does not get hit by the Vault Breaker, I must say.
Wow.
And turns around, throws the Undertow and manages to get away. So a little bit of a mistake coming in from safety here. Not lining up the Vault Breaker did into Naz's face.
Right, so overall it's a 2-for-1 exchange here, and we might see Saigon Jokers start work on Baron straight away. And it is a 3-for-4 fight here, and with safety and Archie both alive, they have a lot of percentage health damage on their own end, but they have to be wary about HQ Esports Club, especially Archie. He is, you know, just toying with his life here, just a good 1/3 HP on his own end here, and does feel like Saigon Jokers will play it a bit safer this time around. They will back away from the bad pit.
And I don't know, SAJ seems like a completely different team when they start on Baron. I don't usually see them being the ones to initiate Baron. They are usually the ones to kind of get away. Whoa, Naz nearly gets caught out from that explosive cast there. But nevertheless, I think Optimus just wanted to clear the minion wave out. So as I was saying, it's slightly different, a different SAJ team you're seeing here. You're usually not the one to actually go in and start the Baron. They're usually the one that says, okay, we don't prioritize Baron, instead we prioritize our lanes. And as I talk about this one, Naz gets taken out extremely low. Optimus now has to body slam away to get out of the turret range in itself. QTV and Price once again gonna deal it out, this time in the top lane, and it's just gonna be the battle of the two bruisers there. So Archie now, having completed that last Whisper, will be able to take down turrets with ease, and at the same time is going to start to level up his Caustic Spittle, and this Caustic Spittle will allow Kog'Maw to actually gain that passive attack speed buff and allow him to constantly hammer away at the turrets.
Right, so we are hitting that choke point where Saigon Jokers struggled for the most part for game number 1 and game number 2. So once again, it's always up to HQ Esports Club if they can find the right engages. I feel like they are the kind that once they find the opening, they will just hang on to it like hounds, you know, just biting on any form of little slab of meat that they can find. And in that sense, HQ Esports Club, that has worked very well for them in game 1 and game number 2. It's always that one epic clash between both teams. They will win that and then push for victory here. So we might see that happening once again for this game. So in a sense, we have to give credit to HQ Esports Club because they always manage to keep the goalie in check.
Junie in a little bit of trouble there. Does not use his ultimate at this point in time, the Chrono Shift, and he would just walk away from that one. A little bit of action coming in the mid lane. Archie actually gets caught out. The Mega Inferno Ball will come in, and it seems that Archie will be able to survive that one with the ultimate coming in from the Chrono Shift. The first one to get taken down will be Optimus. Now Green Tea as well as West both taken down very low. Garter Devil is in a little bit of trouble. QTV will try to chase that one. He goes in with the counter meek on top of the flash, and it does seem that both Green Tea as well as West are taken down very low. Will QTV decide to turn around? He does turn around. No kills for QTV at this point of time, and it does seem that there's more fights coming along here. Safety will try to get away with the Vault Breaker, which he will do it. The flash ahead of the Vault Breaker, and a flash from Safety himself will allow him to actually get out of that one.
I can see the fire burning in HQ Esports Club right now. They are reaching the point where they find that, you know, we are sick and tired of waiting, we are going to bring the fight to you, and that was exactly what happened. And they will translate that into one mid lane turret for themselves. So once again, closing the goal gap and stopping the bleeding in this one. So SAJ now only has a 1000 advantage, and if HQ Esports Club picks up this dragon for themselves, we will be back on ground zero, and you know, all this goal gap will be negated again. Yep, exactly back on point. Both teams are equal again, 33 minutes in.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be very scary for SAJ having the lead. They try to force 2 Baron initiates, and then we have the Assault and Battery coming out. Green Sea taken out extremely low. The Mega Inferno Bomb will come in and only clip them onto the side. That snipe will come in from Optimus using the explosive cast to destroy Green Tea in itself. I don't agree with a Baron attempt at this point of time. You do not have that disengage that you need from Optimus. You do not have the Ultimus coming in from safety, and it does seem that SAJ share my values as well, or share my thoughts at least. And they would just decide to group up in the mid lane, try to push as much as possible. Doesn't seem like that's the case. They just want to pull out some lane pressure, and Optimus will be sent to the bot lane to try to pick up as much farm as possible. And look at how much Westdoor is ahead of Optimus. 339 CS compared to 296. So about 40 CS difference. And that has allowed him to actually pick up Zhonya's Hourglass first, as compared to what Optimus has at this point in time.
Right, so he is ahead of gold in here, and having that Zhonya's gold definitely helped him up a lot more. So we do see that little goal difference separating both Optimus and Westdoor in that perspective. And once again, Saigon Jokers, they need to be in a position where they can pressure HQ in the right form here. And it does feel like the team composition for HQ Esports Club is starting to flourish, because we see that Pride and they are the ones bringing the fight to Saigon Jokers there, and then they are able to stick on to the carries, namely both Archie as well as Optimus. And it is a position where Saigon Jokers need to reconsider their strategy.
Well, what happened in that last fight was that Archie immediately got caught out by the, the solar flare coming in from Green Tea. Problem was that Archie didn't have flash. So if now, with all the summoners up on the side of at least Archie in itself, you can see that once again a great solar flare initiated. Archie would just, now, does have the chrono shift to bring him back to life. I don't know if he is able to actually escape from that one. He does flash over the wall, gets the Void Ooze down. Will Naz be able to follow on that one? QTV is now in the back lines. Optimus will try to get into the fight as well. Now, Price being a big pain in the butt. At this point of time, safety will duel it out with Naz. It does seem that safety will get the better of that one. Yes, he does get a kill, but a triple kill actually, and now Westdoor will be the one to pick up the shutdown as well as the double kill. So what a play coming in, because safety managed to zone out 3 members on the side of HQ.
Right, that was a 2-for-3 exchange as well, and we will have a replay to see what exactly went down in the process. And once again, at the very same corner, we do see Archie getting called out with the solar flare. Colin gets popped, everything gets used onto Archie there, so he will die, but the chrono shift will bring him back to life. And Pride's once again trying to stick on to Optimus now, and now Archie will pull off a max range flash over the wall to get himself into safety. And QTV, like you mentioned, just zoning out everyone on the HQ Esports Club there. And we do see the flank coming in from safety right at the side to pick up 2 kills respectively. And so he will take out Green Tea in the process, and with so much damage on his own end, he will take out the kill. And Westdoor in the meantime just poking away at Saigon Jokers there, so he will pick up 2 kills next time.
Still a very close game at this point of time. That win there in the lane, it's in the fight itself, just kind of allowed SAJ to pick up that slight gold lead once again, holding the gold lead at about 1,000 gold, and it's just gonna be anyone's game. Now we have Garnet that were actually just getting hit by QTV. I don't know why QTV was so far ahead of his entire team and went in on that one. I didn't understand what he was trying to achieve there. He pays for his life onto that one, pops his Dominus, and this gives AHQ a very good chance of actually attempting Baron at this point of time. They do not have the vision coming onto the entrance points, mainly the sweeping lens on the side, or the greater lens on the side of Green Tea should be able to clear out the ward if he actually manages to spot it out. But outside of that, it does seem that it's going to be another low point in this game where the teams will start farming it up. I have to question what QTV was doing there so far ahead, going on to Garnet level. A little bit of miscommunication perhaps.
Right, should be the case over there. And since we have a little bit of a downtime, let's talk a little bit about the trinket choices. We have not really talked about that for the previous 2 games as well. We do see Saigon Jokers, they are the ones constantly going for their triple lance pickup on their own end. So in that sense, they want to go in to maintain vision control. But I have to say that HQ Esports Club, they are playing this really smartly, because they always have that pink ward presence on their own end to clear out the stealth wards that Saigon Jokers have installed for them.
So a little bit of downtime coming in. The lenses, like you said, being used, I wouldn't say quite effectively by SAJ, because the vision control for HQ is still pretty rampant. But nevertheless, the vision wars, whoever actually wins in the vision wars will be able to kind of get an advantage, at least when it comes to a team fight. And I must say that at this point of time, comparing Junie and Green Tea is the support, or at least he's on the support champion that is able to do a lot more than what Junie has been doing. So far, Junie can only react defensively, reactively to the engages coming from AHQ, and that's not gonna pay dividends at all. What SAJ needs to do is be the one to engage, go in with QTV, go in with safety, and try their best to actually instigate either Wester or Garnet Devil, because the instigate potential of safety as well as Optimus is very high. Assault and Battery and Bolt Breaker into the explosive cast in itself is going to be extremely effective.
Right. Also, at the same time, I feel that they need to focus down on the target, because every time Optimal pulls off a great explosive cast, then Saigon Joker suddenly becomes a very lost team. They don't really know how to follow up onto that. And speaking of follow up, we might see a fight breakout here.
That's why safety actually gets hit quite a bit there. Now Pride's there. The Solar Flare does miss and completely airballs. Hits no one, doesn't even get the slow off. So one ultimate down on the side of HQ. This is one of a good timing window for SAJ to actually go in for the initiate. The cooldown is 75 seconds, so they have about a minute to decide what they want to do. They aren't grouping up as 5, so they aren't going to really make full use of this downtime here from Green Tea. So far, both the fights, or both the previous few fights, have been started off by that Solar Flare. A great Solar Flare to Archie just completely rendered him useless in the team fight. And I mean, who wouldn't focus on Cockmore that has a Last Whisper, Static Shift, Blade of Ruin King, and parts of the Trinity Force at this point of time. So now the 60 seconds will be up in another half a minute or so. It does seem that SAJ will need to use this timing in itself to try to initiate on to HQ. But the question is, will they decide to go in under the turret itself? Because if they stand here any longer, it's just going to be deja vu all over again if Green Tea manages to hit the Solar Flare. The Solar Flare will be back up in a few more seconds. It's going to be 4, 3, 2, 1, and once again HQ has the upper hand in terms of initiation.
Right, and this is the difference that we're talking about from game 1 and game number 2, because for Saigon Jokers, what they have at least on their own end is this hyper carry that comes in the form of Cockmore, but he has been inside of the fire that HQ Esports Club. They are always focusing their fire down onto him there, so he needs to be a position where he can chuck it down effectively. But between Saigon Jokers and HQ Esports Club, Saigon Jokers do not necessarily have the best peel for Archie at this point of time, and so much potential for HQ to just instigate him in that perspective. And we are reaching a point where we are starting to see that it's a bit stagnant because of the fact that HQ Esports Club, they are just very comfortable farming up, trying to extend their goalie, make sure that they have all their item thresholds being completed before going in to find the fight. You have to remember they are still 5 kills down in this one, but in a sense we do see the fact that they are at a goal advantage here, the first time in many games here tonight, and in that sense they need to start capitalizing on that, because if they are the ones caught out in a bad position and if they are the ones to go down in the team fight, then this hyper carry Cockmore is just gonna destroy and demolish their base here.
Yeah, Archie has already completed Infinity Edge at this point of time, and it does seem that SAJ is kind of at a loss of what to do, because they don't have, I would say they don't really have good siege, and they just need to lay a trap for HQ, I feel, because the the pushing potential, or at least the minion wave clear potential coming in from Garnet Devil and Westlaw is definitely superior to Optimus as well as Archie.
Right, Westlaw is almost like the one-man show to clear out the waves here, because he has reached a point where he has a lot of ability power on his own end here, so he should be able to clear out the waves relatively quickly.
6 item Ziggs, 43 minutes in, so that's going to be something that we need to take a look at, and Optimus doesn't have his 6th item just yet, so that's one whole item behind on the side of Saigon Jokers.
Right, so it's going to be quite difficult for Saigon Jokers to actually siege up any of this major objectives at this point of time, and they might want to try to find something else to look at, like the possibility of sending actually safety to go and split push, but that will also put them at some risk here if HQ forces an engage on them. So they are at a point where they they really can't make anything much happen. They just need to look for the openings. Actually, both teams are just looking for openings in terms of mistakes. But they're just so cautious in this one, and it's especially frustrating for Saigon Jokers because they are still down by 2 games. We always have to remember that. So in that sense, they want to be the ones to close out the game in this one. So this waiting game might translate into mental pressure, and that's when they might start making mistakes.
That's right, we see the greater lens being put to work here at this point of time. And what's going on now is that
it's almost like a waiting game, yeah.
Yeah, it's a waiting game, but the ward clear coming in from SAJ is pretty superior compared to the amount of wards the AHQ can put down. They have put down so many stealth wards in this one long lane brush here in the mid lane, and it's just been constantly cleared out just because of how low the cooldowns on this greater lens are. 60-second cooldowns on the greater lens, so every 60 seconds effectively you can clear out an area of vision for yourself. So once again, this Baron dance is going to happen, and let's just see how long this Baron dance will kind of play out, because it does seem that HQ will be going in for a mid lane push at this point of time, and SAJ needs to react to this one.
Right, we do have Saigon Jokers do actually have a big minion wave pushing down at the bottom lane, so they might wait for that to actually take place here. And once again, HQ Esports Club, they want to find the fight at the choke point here. That is where Saigon Jokers generally they have some positional mistakes there. But Saigon Jokers, once again, they are the ones playing it smart here. They want to find the fight that they want to, and in a sense, they are not going for the fight here. They want to put on some pressure, and there we go, the Talisman of Ascension actually, but that will get instantly negated with that Undertow in the way.
Yeah, it's okay, because Talisman of Ascension itself has a very low cooldown to 60 seconds on that speed boost, so
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
there we have it. That big minion wave you were talking about is actually pushing in favor of Saigon Jokers, and they take the first inner turret of the game, and that kind of pulls back the goal lead to about 2,000.
Oh!
Great Ultimate come in, and now Optimus is in a bunch of trouble. Archie is on the sideline, gets taken out extremely low. The Zonias will actually prevent most of the damage coming in, and now Westler is onto the sidelines, taken out extremely low. QTV, one man trying to zone as many people as possible, but it doesn't seem that SAJ is able to follow onto that one. Naz is onto the sidelines, will be able to pull out that Undertow very shortly. It does seem that Archie will try to kind of lifesteal away from the minions as much as possible. The positional advantage will go for AHQ. They trade, they do manage to pick up QTV as well as that mid lane inner turret in itself.
Right, so Green Tea pulls off one great solar flare onto Optimus. They managed to pick up the kill onto QTV in the entire process, and the amount of burst damage coming out from Westlaw was able to repel them to try to make encounter initiate. And in that sense, Archie got brought down so low that he was unable to be in the position to try to have any output of damage at all. So in that sense, HQ Esports Club came out ahead. They took down the mid lane second tier turret as well. And Saigon Jokers, they are looking to respond to take out the dragon. This should be an easy dragon on their own end, so they will try to bridge the goal gap once again. But we are approaching that 15-minute mark once again. It's going to be at a point where the goal gap is not going to be too significant. And in that sense, the only difference between Game 1, Game 2 and this game is that Saigon Jokers, they are the ones with that goal deficit this time around. And the other difference as well is that they do have that hyper carry Cockmore. So if they're able to just provide space for him to maneuver around and land those auto attacks one after the other, then I would say that SAJ still has a very good fighting chance back into this one.
You know what I feel SAJ needs to do at this point of time? They really need to just get their late game 6 items and then fight AHQ, because at this point of time the item advantage coming in from the AHQ squad in itself is at this moment quite superior. They have that gold lead, they have the minion lead, and it does seem that their composition is more suited to going in for that engaging at this point of time. We saw how tanky Price can get. He's already at that stage of the game, nearly completing his 6th item, has a slot for the wards at this point of time. Once Price gets that Guardian's Angel, it's going to be very hard to stop him. Naz is reaching that point as well, has pieces of the Sunfire Cape, and will try to actually zone safety out of the Baron Pit itself. Safety doing some fancy footwork here, dodging out the Undertow, and it seems that this little Baron dance is just going to continue all over again. So a little bit of a downtime coming in. But nevertheless, AHQ seems to be confident. This choke point again, they really need to be careful because it's so easy to land the solar flare in these very small areas itself. So SAJ wants to get the positional advantage onto Baron, but this gives AHQ full reign over this mid lane in itself.
Okay, I found the alternate side of this argument about trinkets. You know, usually we say that the team with all the lenses should be able to win out in the vision war. But as you're approaching this 6-item build, you are forcing your opponent to make a choice. Because no matter what happens, the trinket is still on the 7th slot. In that sense, you can still put down that ward to, you know, just get some vision control in that sense, especially at the point at the Baron pit when you want to spot out where your opponent is. And you compare that to the lens, you're not really getting any vision out of it. And if you want to maintain that, you know, control in that vision, you need to have that ward in control. And because of that, if you don't have that slot for those wards, then you are eventually just giving up all this ward control.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think any one of us actually said that having more lenses allows you to win the game. I think more lenses just allows you to deny more vision. But that being said, if you are in a bad position, especially when you try to de-ward, that's going to give such a good advantage onto the enemy team. And I think Optimus actually heard your cries, Chris, because he decided to swap his red trinket back to the warding token once again. And, you know, having that ward presence on the map itself is something that Saigon Jokers need at this point in time. They only have 1-2 wards on the map. And look at the amount of pink wards, or at least the vision wards that HQ is able to use. Right now, a lot of the pink resources have been going into this Baron pit, and I don't know whether that's the right call because HQ can just easily clear it out, and that time bomb did nothing.
It was not even a flicker, it was just like, oh, okay, there's a bomb. I didn't realize.
Nothing at all to Prides itself, so
yeah, and in the sense, if you have those lenses, it would take a few auto attacks to try to clear out those wards. And within that few split seconds, HQ should be able to find the opening to catch anyone out of position.
Seriously,
that's the
answer to the yellow ward, yellow trinket, red trinket game is get the blue trinket.
The scrying orb, right?
Yeah, just get the scrying orb, or the greater orb, or whatever the final upgrade is called, whatever orb is called. And then we have the initiate out to Westor. The Zonia's out at this point of time. Will Westor be able to get away from that one? Doesn't seem that that's the case. Westor goes down first, shut down onto Archie, and there we have the initiate coming from SAJ. Will they be able to follow up on that one?
So the silence has been broken. It does feel like Saigon Jokers, the other ones to have the upper hand, and that was a pretty stylish move right there with Westor popping Zonia's mid-air, and eventually he did go down the process. But Saigon Jokers, they are not able to make anything out of this kill. They need to make something happen, translate that into an objective. But once again, once we get Westor back into this game, that is going to be spelling disastrous for Saigon Jokers at this point of time.
Yeah, 40 seconds before Westor actually comes up, and it does seem that, you know, SAJ would want to take off a turret at least out of this one. Archie does have the Bio Arcane Barrage and is able to kind of take down. And whoa, we do have the initiate coming out to Garner Devil this time. Garner Devil will cleanse that one away. Price uses the Dragon's Descent, get exhausted in the middle of the team fight. Archie is still on the outside trying to deal as much damage as possible. Westor hasn't come back up in that fight yet. The Guardian's Angel, not the Guardian's Angel, the Chrono Ship will actually be picked up of the safety. Safety will go down. The Chrono Ship actually being used there. Hasn't died off just yet, so the Guardian Angel will fall at this point of time. No kills just yet. Westor will be coming up in another 5 seconds. Does have his Mega Inferno Ball. SAJ need to hightail it out of there at this point of time.
Right, they need to make the grand escape for themselves, but in the meantime, it does feel like it will create some space for HQ to actually take down the Baron. And with Saigon Jokers, everyone being so low there, that might be a problem for them, but Optimus is just right around the corner. This is a very risky maneuvers for Saigon Jokers at this point of time.
Yeah, they need to stall out this Baron because the initiate from safety will probably go down to this one. He does not. The Chrono Shift is back up once again, but they're not actually trying to target safety at all. Here we have Optimus actually pooping the Zonias at this point of time. He does use the explosive cast. He's now in a horrible position. Gets exhausted, pops the flash, gets a body slam, but a max range Zenith Blade will actually catch Optimus out. There's a bit of spectator lag happening at this point of time, and there we have the pause coming in the middle of the team fight. Oh my goodness.
Dramatic pause. 3rd and 4th place. Will this be the end of the road for Saigon Jokers? Optimus
oh my goodness.
being forced to look at his own death, his own imminent death here.
By the amount of red flashing health bars, SAJ is in a horrible position in this team fight. I don't know whether they will lose an inhibitor. Yes, Optimus will go down for this one. HQ will probably be able to pick off Baron from this team fight in itself, and wow, just wow, honestly. Okay, so it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm getting ready for my play-by-play cast. Will Optimus go down? The Guardian Angels will be coming out at this point of time. He does not survive as expected. No one else actually dies off of that one. QTV is actually set on the split push mission. He will try to put as much pressure onto the lane in itself. We do have the 3-man going back to base, try to heal as much as possible. The Baron buff will be picked up by the red team. HQ Esports Club pick up the first Baron of the game, 53 minutes in. The gold count at this point of time is still at 2,000, with HQ Esports Club at 80,000 gold at this point of time, because 2,000 gold does not matter anymore.
Right, the brave conquest coming in from HQ Esports Club finally secures them the Baron, but Saigon Jokers will be looking to respond to this one. They will take away the Dragon in the process, and this late in Dragons are very, very valuable, so that will give 260 gold to every member. But once again, 6 item builds on almost everyone on both teams. That's not going to matter too much, and Saigon Jokers might be looking to pull off something fancy here. It might work.
It may work. This little fanatic death brush, as some of the fanatic players like to call it. This do a fanatic here. So let's just see if it actually pays off, because
they just wasted some time.
Yeah, they wasted some time, but HQ wasn't able to get any map pressure in that point of time, so SAJ cannot fight a Baron buff HQ. They need to wait for the Baron buff to tick away. They need to get their 6 items up, and the moment Baron buff has expired, we should see SAJ pull out a fight. At this point of time, HQ will be very happy to just kind of push down as much as possible now. QTB taken down extremely low, down to half HP. It does seem that Pride will actually walk away with a ticking time bomb. That's not going to do much damage to him, as we can see. Now QTV, does he have his home guard? Because he will probably need to go back and buy the home guard boots. Doesn't have enough money to buy that one just yet. So what we have here is just the siege coming in from HQ. It does seem that this inhibitor turret will go down. I feel that SAJ need to... Whoa, we do have a great start coming from Judy. He flashes and cleanses away from that one. Green Tea taken out very low. The turret will go down. Will Green Tea go down in the process as well? Safety gets a assault battery onto Garden Devil. Garden Devil pops his barrier. Nas taken out extremely low. Price now in the back line, trying to do as much damage as possible. QTV still managed to survive that one. The Guardian's Angels pop onto Garden Devil. Nas as well as Westall will be forced to run away. SAJ actually take the fight against a Baron buffed up HQ.
Right, that was a disastrous team fight for HQ Esports Club that day. I think they just overextended their welcome there. So Saigon Jokers, they are the ones to come out ahead in that one, 3-1 exchange. And they are given this opening here, but Westall is pretty much alive and kicking in this one. So with so much ability power and with clear potential, it's going to be quite difficult for them. And just to point out, ladies and gentlemen, Westall has 520 CS up his sleeves here. As we go into a replay, you see exactly what happened in that one. So what happened was that a great solar flare will catch Archie out, but he will use the Mercurius Apple to just cleanse away that one. And Greenkey just got dropped right back into the fray, and with the burst damage coming in from Optimus as well as the DPS coming in from Archie, they managed to do a lot of damage, and Safety jumps right back into the back line. And having so much tanky items on his end, he was able to buy a lot of time. And we do see Price jumping right back into the fray with the Dragon's Descent, but only to get locked up by QTB in the process. And Archie actually using the Living Artillery to take out the Guardian Angels from Garnet Devil, and he will just get picked off. And Judy almost going down in the process. At the end of the day, it's a 3-for-1 exchange.
Yeah, it is a 3-for-1 exchange, and now the Baron buff has been taken away from 3 members. Westdoor as well as Nas still has that Baron buff up, is gonna tick away at this point of time, so both teams are extremely even now. It's gonna hit the 100k gold mark, and let's see which member, or at least which champion on the Fields of Justice or Summoner's Rift in itself does not have 6 items.
It's almost like in every closing ends of the stages for Saigon Jokers, they always have some epic long game such as this one, because I think the longest game in the history of GPL was a 72-minute game between SAJ and Bangkok Titans, and I think we are just trying to vie for the record right here.
No, I remember an even longer game that actually happened this season. I can't remember which two teams, but it went on for 76 minutes.
Wow. We might be fighting for that record over here. Well, 60 minutes. We are approaching the 60-minute mark, and it might happen soon, but at this point of time, Saigon Jokers and HQ, at this point of time, it doesn't really matter. It's back to back. Anything can happen.
Archie, you're my hero.
Oh, there we go. The orb.
The first Farsight orb the GPL has ever seen. Let's see if it's any use this game.
It might work, dude. It might work.
I have no idea, but there we go. The initiate comes in. A complete airball. I think SAJ needs to completely disengage from this fight. AHQ now with Prize in the back lines. QTV taken out extremely low, and let's just see if they can kite back as much as possible. Archie is taken out extremely low. Who has the chrono shift now? Archie in a very bad position. Archie will go down to that one. HQ now, it seems that this is a team fight for SAJ to lose. The Guardian's Angel is popped out to safety. A max range Zenith Blade will hit onto Optimus. Prize as well as Optimus. Why is my spectator lagging? Once again, the pause comes out. What's going on? My goodness. Okay.
Dramatic pause.
Archie went down in that fight. There's no way SAJ can come back in this fight. The question is, can everyone else survive to kind of prevent the siege coming in from HQ? Baron is going to be up in 1.5 minutes time. The inhibitor has yet to be taken down. That should be the next priority target for HQ after this team fight. The play will resume, and now Prize will be hitting onto Junie. Optimus is given the speed buff. He will probably walk away from that one. It does seem that now safety is the target for all of them to actually go on to. So it's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of HQ Esports, and it does seem that they will be probably pushing down the lane. And no, they're not actually pushing down the lane. They're gonna play it so safe because they know if they lose in the base of SAJ at this point of time, they're gonna lose a Baron buff and probably cost them the game. So HQ just gonna play extremely safe. In another 10 seconds, we're gonna hit the 1 hour mark of this game, and what a night it has been, Chris. What?
I was pretty sure that that was the game ending engage there, but I guess I was wrong. What do I know about pro gaming?
Yeah, what do we know? We just watch and talk a lot about it, huh?
Oh gosh.
My goodness.
Well, they have every reason to play safe here. We have a 10,000 difference on the line here.
Yeah, I like to point out that Junie has picked out a Starks, the Zeke's Herald, sorry.
Yeah, Zeke's Herald.
Sorry. I love Starks forever, but anyway. Yeah, the Zeke's Herald. So that's gonna give a buff to Archie, safety as well as QTV, and they're just gonna in general benefit from that one.
So I think the Baron Dance will just be in order here. What do you think?
Who doesn't have 6 items at this point of time? Okay, the junglers don't have 6 items. The supports don't have 6 items. And that's basically it. Price actually getting caught out a little bit. I don't think he is able to do it. Safety now, and a great block coming in from Price in itself. Safety is now in a bunch of trouble. QTV gets hit by the solar flare, and now let's just see. Safety is the first one to go down, and look at the amount of damage that Mega Inferno Bomb actually dealt to SAJ in itself. This should open up the Baron for HQ Esports. Westlaw is actually not going for the Baron, but instead going for the inhibitor. So there we have the first inhibitor of the game being taken down at 61 minutes.
I'm sorry, that was the first inhibitor? it does look like it's an eternity for the team, for the team to try to close out this game here, but like I mentioned, an open Baron call for HQ Esports. They should be able to take this one out with ease, and now with the mid lane super minutes pressuring onto Saigon Jokers there, it will be a hell of a position to try to come back off from this one. But once again, 6 item builds for most members of Saigon Jokers there. They still have the option to make this one turn around, especially with that hyper carry Archie over here.
That's right. So at this point of time, this global goal is just going to go into the coffers of HQ Esports Club. Naz can't complete his small Mortalist at this point of time. At least I don't think he can. And oh my goodness, Whistler has 6,000 gold in his own pockets. What's he gonna spend it on? Just pure elixirs.
He doesn't need money for anything. He has reached the stage of enlightenment. He doesn't need any more items. He doesn't need gold. He just needs to win the game at this point of
My
time.
goodness.
It's an hour long game here, and I think Saigon Jokers have a little bit of struggle with choke holes because for the past 2 games, for game 1 and game number 2, they primarily, solved their defeat in their choke hole in the blue side jungle of HQ Esports Club. This time around, they saw one major objective loss because safety was separated from the rest of the team because, it is very choke hole over here.
Okay, the problem with SAJ at this point of time is that once they get their 6 items, they need to fight. But the problem is that HQ has been the one picking the fights that they want, and SAJ has just been responding. SAJ has good initiation. We saw that when SAJ goes in for the initiate, they win the team fights. But so far, it's only happened once, and they didn't really convert any objectives out of that one. And at this point of time, HQ is just going to take away all the outer turrets. They have the Baron buff, and once again, when both teams are at the 6 item threshold, the team with the Baron buff has that extra stats coming in from the Baron buff itself. So this turret should go down too. I mean, great wave clear coming from SAJ will prevent and mitigate some of the damage coming out, but nevertheless, it's still going to be very difficult. The poke coming from Optimus and Archie is going to be extremely potent come the late game, so they need to use that poke. They need to use the poke coming in from both Gragas as well as Cockmore. If Archie is able to land a few good living artilleries, then that kind of solves most of their problems at this point of time.
I'm looking at the gold count for HQ.
99.9 thousand gold. There we have.
Oh, we have hit the 100,000 mark for HQ Esports Club there. That's feel like that's the signal for them to try to siege up the turret. And the Baron buff slowly ticking away on their own count here. So they should be able to take out the bottom lane turret. But Western are a little bit low on mana here and decide to back off from there.
Yeah, that's right. And it does seem that this siege will allow, at least allow Naz to pick up his, a little bit of a relentless pursuit over the wall. No one saw that Garnet level, but nevertheless, the more Malmortalus being picked up on the side of Naz. Banshee's Veil from the Spectre's Cowl will not be able to be completed by safety at this point of time. And Leona is just so tanky. This is the first time I've seen the team get 2 blue trinkets, Chris. This is the first time I see any team get any blue trinkets in a competitive game.
I think it's
but at this point of time, it's not going to be useful because
I guess
HQ is just going to be knocking on SAJ's doors.
In a sense, if they are able to maintain vision, because at this point of time, it's where one good team fight is just going to change everything. If you are able to just have that op control to just spot out where they are, because a blink of an eye is just going to change the game right now. So in a sense, if they are able to use that op to just scout out the area, and given also the sense that they have been pushed out in the sense, all the outer turrets are down. So in the sense, HQ Esports Club will be placing all the wards in the jungle, so they are unable to kind of check it effectively without going close in range. So having that op is going to help them a hell lot more.
This, we should just let this game play out and maybe,
But come on, man! It's a very, it's a very close game. 104,000 to.
I'm not bored. I'm just, I'm just awed. I'm just awed by this game.
Dude, I told you, 10,000 difference, cash prize in difference. It is okay to play it safe. It is okay to find the comfortable position for you to close out the game.
And then we have the initiation comes in from safety. Let's see what's gonna go on at this point of time. Oh my goodness, my mouse just went home completely haywire. Naz getting taken out extremely low. QTB in the front lines, and now safety getting taken out very low as well. But let's just see where they actually turn their attention to. Junie is onto the sidelines, does not pop his chrono shift just yet, and it does seem that they will disengage from that fight. You see, when safety goes in for the initiate, SAJ tends to come out better.
Yep.
They need to go in for more of these initiates, and they nearly caught Naz out and destroyed him and making it a 4v5 fight. Archie needs to kite as much as possible. Junie needs to protect whoever he needs to protect at this point of time. His Chrono Shift will bring the health back to 1,100 health.
Yeah, he doesn't have any AP up his shoulders yet, and just having that Taro to try to boost up Archie as much as he can, which is rightfully so, because it's at a point where all the hyper carries start to shine now. But with so much tanky items coming in from HQ, it's so difficult for him to try to make anything happen as well.
Yeah, and once again the initiation comes in. Why is my spectator client lagging? The spectator client is tired too. 350 over minute games.
We are gonna break the record tonight, are we?
I don't know. It's still too early to call. Once it hit 80 minutes, then we'll say we have officially broken any sort of 70-minute game record.
Okay, and Baron's gonna be up in 30 seconds.
Can I just say,
yes.
What a great way to start 2014.
What? Yeah, definitely. This is the...
What a great way to start 2014. I don't even know what time it is now in Singapore. I don't care because I want to see a game 4. Honestly, I want to see a game 4 because SAJ still can win this, and it seems that Safety is always willing to go in for the initiate, and I like the attitude. If Safety can constantly use Assault and Battery off the cooldown, and if SAJ is able to react to that one, Baron is now live once again.
Wow, that's gonna be a problem.
The dance is gonna happen very soon as we see the teams actually just move in onto and try to get a positional advantage. The problem here is that SAJ has an explosive inhibitor. HQ can easily end the game out of that positioning from SAJ. HQ doesn't even need to fight for Baron. They just need to get the positional advantage.
Yeah.
So what SAJ needs to do is respond to the Baron pickup. If they can do that, they win. If they can do that and win a fight at Baron or win a fight outside their own base without getting caught out and initiate, they win. But if we do have a flank come in, this is so extremely scary for SAJ. I don't know what either team's gonna do at this point of time. 5 greater vision totem? Yeah, 5 greater vision totems is actually being 4 greater vision totems being picked up on the side of HQ. A greater stealth totem on the side of SAJ being picked up by QTB itself. And 2 far side orbs. I have to say, this is a great 2014 race. This is gonna be so scary. Oh my goodness. I fear for both teams. I fear for SAJ because I want a game number 4.
You have to think of it in this perspective because both teams are hitting their 6 item thresholds. They're pretty much playing
haven't they hit their 6 item
okay,
threshold?
they are at pretty much their 6 item threshold, with the exception of
Junie.
Yeah, so he still has that one pick wall up his sleeves there, and they're pretty much playing this blind, and I think that's where the scrying arm is gonna start coming to play here.
Oh my goodness. What's the record for the longest game in League of Legends?
I have no
Like
idea.
ever.
I would love to know, but it's definitely not this one yet. Because anything can still happen, and actually Westlaw is a little bit out of position there. He's right back in the base here.
8,000 gold. Oh my goodness, SAJ decides to start on the Baron. I don't think they will be able to do the Baron in time. The dominance actually being popped by QTB to actually do it as fast as possible. And there we have the Mega Inferno Bomb coming in. Oh my goodness, they do get the Baron. And now the team fight will start to break out. Price taken out extremely low. The random's omens are all popped on the side. Price is the first one to go down. He hasn't gone down just yet. He actually gets saved by the Mikhail's Crucible. I don't think that time bomb actually does take him out. It's not a time bomb, but I say it's Archie. Garnet Devil is now in a bunch of trouble. The Garnet Angel will be popped. SAJ has that team fight in their hands. They have the Baron buff. Why is my spectator client lagging? Once again, it's another pause.
Dramatic
oh my
pause.
goodness. Oh my goodness, Chris.
The dramatic pause of the game, and 3 members down on HQ Esports Club. This is the opportunity for Saigon Jokers to close out the game. Archie is at full health, and they have to be wary about Westlaw, but this is their chance to go in, just march into the base and finish off the game. They do have the Baron buff to regen themselves back up as well, so this is the perfect chance for it to happen.
My goodness. Deep sigh. And I don't know what other emotes I can bring up right now.
God, this has got to be one of the closest games.
3, 2, and 1. Resume. Let's just see what SAJ decides to do here, and green team may be caught off guard at this point of time. Safety has half the cooldown of the assault and battery. It is going to come up quite shortly. The Vault Breaker will be used to clear out the minions. Will they be able to catch Westar out of position? Because they do have 1, 2, 3, 4 members. Junie is now onto the sides. They do manage to pick up the first turret of the game. The death timers are still extremely long at this point of time. 40 seconds. Westar is now alive. Full mana, trying to chunk as much damage as possible. Will SAJ be able to close out this fight? Because it's 71 minutes into the game. 30 seconds left on the death timers for the side of AHQ. They should just... Oh my goodness, this is so scary. Westar is so tanky. They are onto the Nexus turrets at this point of time. One Nexus turret will go down. The second Nexus turret will go down. The Mega Photobomb will actually get the kill onto QTP at this point of time. The Assault Battery goes down. Safety will get his Goddess Angel power at this point of time. The Saigon Jokers! The Saigon Jokers will be able to pick up game number 3. We are going to game number 4. Wow! Wow!